Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Fantasy Madness podcast with me, your host, the Mad Chatter Ryan M. Gay. Thank you for joining once again or for the first time. Either way, if you check out at our MK Madness on the Twitters, on the Grams, you can check out all of my content. Please do, along with my other podcast, the Miscellaneous Debris Podcast. Now, hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. I've had a little bit of issues here getting some content out, speaking of content, because, I got problems with my iPad. Because full transparency, I like to be transparent, be upfront about everything. My whole setup is rather, unprofessional, amateur. It's very amateur. I use an iPad. I have a Blue Yeti mic. I use things like GarageBand and iMovie. This is how I get things done. Major issues with the iPad this week, and between that and the craziness that is, ramping up to Christmas time. Just been a long, rough week. Shit's not working. I don't have the proper time to take care of it and try and figure it out and redo. So, you get this mini madness version this week. All apologies. But we'll get there. We'll make up for it. And you might hear kids and a wife in the background. Because again, I'm just trying to get something out there for the peeps, for the mad caps, for my people. Because, it's been a rough week. But, holy fuck, Alvin Kamara. 155 yards, 6 fucking touchdowns. Could have been 7, if not for Taysom Hill. Well, Sean Payton, really. Condolences if you played against him. Cook and Thielen were solid. Irv Smith continues his ascendance. 6 catches, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the 3 of them combined could only beat out. Because Kamara, whole lot of points. So other than that game, again, condolences if you played against him. If you had him on your squad, you're feeling pretty good, right? Now, all jokes aside, anything could still happen. You've had big people, or, people put up big games before and still lost, right? Yeah. Any number of people could have that Kamara game and then have the rest of their squad put up stinkers. And then they're barely over 100 points, right? You ever had that where you get like 120 points and like over half of it is like 2 players, It happens. So, there's still hope. Still a chance. But condolences. But I hope the rest of your Christmas was well. Not bad here. Got some cool gifts. The kids definitely did. Dinos, Lego stuff, craft stuff. They love all that stuff. Your kids in the back, they're still jamming out on all their fucking Christmas shit. Having a blast. I got a Friends Lego set I need to put together personally. That's right. And I got a gas mask. That's right. A marijuana type gas mask. And it is wonderful. Should have done some of that right before recording. But I digress. Not a bad Christmas. Hope it was good for you all as well. And again, apologies for the madness of the week and me trying to get some content out. So let's get into a little bit of it. Let's check out some injury information because, as you know, I write the infirmary report for Player Profiler every week. And a lot of stuff there. That'll be coming out today, so make sure you check that out. playerprofiler.com, or again, check my social media accounts for that. But I'm going to hit some of the big news when it comes to injuries, like Julio, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Cam Akers, all out today. Okay. Tomorrow. This weekend, I should say. Doubtful is CMC and T-Mac. Questionable, Tyreek, Zeke, A-Rob, J-Rob, Keenan Allen, Antonio Gibson. So, you've been without Julio. You're used to that. CMC, same thing. It's a bummer T-Mac will be out. But he hasn't been what he was last year anyway. They need more consistent quarterback play, I do believe, in Washington. With Cam Akers out, though, This is going to be a big game for Darrell Henderson, I do believe. Even though Seattle's pretty good against the run, Darrell Henderson catches passes, he can get out there, make some noise. Clyde Edwards-Helaire being out means they're probably going to lean on Le'Veon Bell. I'm not going to. I don't think any of you should either. I think Darrell the Barrel will get some action, and I just don't trust that Le'Veon Bell can do a whole lot with the opportunity he gets. I'm sure he'll be fine. But if you're looking for, like an old school Le'Veon Bell bounce back game, I just don't think that's coming. Sounds like Tyreek Hill's going to play, same with Zeke. But A-Rob, J-Rob, those are two different stories. Allen Robinson, I'm sure he suits up. They're in the middle of a playoff race. But whether he does or not, I think Darnell Mooney is a great DFS play this week. And we're going to get into a quick smattering of DFS chatter here in a second. And then James Robinson. Divine Exebo, Dare Ogunbowale will be next in line, should he sit. But hopefully he can play, because I'm not trusting either one of them. And even in this matchup, it'll be tough with James Robinson, but hey, he very rarely lets us down. You gotta roll him in the flex in the fantasy championship, right? I still love me some J-Rob. Now, there's a lot of people thinking that the Jags will draft some competition at running back next year, and maybe they will. Maybe they will. But they also have a really good running back right here that's extremely cheap. And that's what teams are really looking for. That's why teams love rookie quarterbacks. It's those rookie contracts. Think of how much you can do if you don't have to pay a bunch of huge contracts to your quarterback, your running back. So I say there's a good chance J-Rob sticks around for a while. Keenan Allen, Antonio Gibson, status is a little bit murkier. Gibson, it does look like there's a decent shot he'll play. Keenan Allen, who knows? He did say don't sit me last week and then went on to underperform, and which is fine. I'm not going to hate on him like some people. I don't really. We're such a small percentage of what football really is. I mean, the fantasy community. Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Half of that fantasy community, I'd like to think it's less than that, but it's probably less than that. But there's a chunk of the fantasy community that likes to do stupid shit like tweet at players and send them crazy ass messages and things, and it kind of ruins it for all of us. But that's kind of society in a nutshell, right? I mean, the reason you see stupid warning on like labels and stuff like do not put kids in the washing machine, like that's because someone's done that before, right? That you get these warnings because some fucking idiot out there has done it before, and they need to put that on there so they don't get sued for not telling people not to do it, which it overall is the dumbest shit anyway. Okay, I digress. Excuse me. Little DFS chat. I think there's going to be a few high-scoring games this weekend. I'm looking at Green Bay, Tennessee. I do think Atlanta and KC could be as well. And look at the Chargers-Broncos game, because I think we could get a little bit of action from that one. Chargers defense, Broncos defense, they're not terrible, but they're also prone to give up some points, and I do think Herbert's going to, work on closing the season strong, and we'll see what we get out of Drew Lock. I'm really looking at Melvin Gordon in that. More later that. Bucks and Lions, I think, could be a little bit high scoring as well. And then at the Dallas-Philadelphia game, I'm very interested in this battle in the NFC least. Elimination game. Loser, go home. That's right. And I'm wary of Arizona players this week a little bit. Arizona never seems to perform well against San Francisco, and they're beat up a little bit on that team. So, I mean, you're going to play Hopkins, right? Just don't be surprised if it's not the biggest of games from him. Indianapolis versus Pittsburgh. I see this being a bit more of a defensive battle. I do think Jonathan Taylor could have a little bit of a game, but I'm not really trusting. I mean, if you have to play a Deontay Johnson or a Juju, that's fine, but I personally am not trusting Steelers in the championship week. That's just me. Just not doing it. Maybe Chase Claypool. I could see him having a sneaky game. I could see that. But otherwise, blah, 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 blah. Same with the Rams and the Seahawks. I mean, you're going to play Kupp and Woods regardless, right? And like I said, Darrell Henderson should have himself a game. But I don't really trust much in that entire game regardless. I mean, I'm a little worried about Seattle. If you have DK Metcalf, you're playing him. But Tyler Lockett, can we seriously look at Tyler Lockett? Dude has been average. Average. Below average. He has a couple of big games. Other than that, most of his games aren't even over 10 points. Disappointing. Understandable. DK's ascension, but you'd expect a little more consistency from Mr. Lockett, and it just hasn't been there. And not someone I'm trusting against the Rams defense in my title matchup. That's just me. Moving on. Value plays this week, guys I really like that are a little bit cheaper. At QB, I like Baker at 6,100. You compare him with Rashard Higgins at 4,800. And then Mitch Trubisky. I hate to say it, believe it or not, but 5,700, not a bad deal. And then Melvin Gordon. I mentioned him, 5,600. No Phillip Lindsay, maybe no Royce Freeman. I love Melvin Gordon this week. He's been playing better, running harder recently, and he had a great game last week. So I think Gordon is a great play this week. Darrell Henderson, as I mentioned, 4,500. Darnell Mooney, as previously mentioned, 4,000. And then Sammy Watkins. I'm telling you, Tyreek's a little banged up. I think he'll play, but I do think it's one of those Sammy Watkins games. That's right. And why not in 2020 championship week? Why? They make perfect sense, right? Perfect sense. So, Noah Fant, Logan Thomas at tight end, 4,800, 4,900 respectively. I've had a lot of love for Logan Thomas this year. Talked about him, wrote about him, and he's been playing great. And he's now got to be considered by many a bona fide tight end, and he is killing it. And he's still really not even priced bad at all. And then Noah Fant. He was killing it last week. I could say he keeps it up too. Very underrated. Now, I've been really disappointed with Drew Lock. If something happens and the Broncos get a hell of a quarterback in there, or Drew Lock somehow takes some massive step, this is going to be a very dangerous offense in 2021. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
May I please have your attention? The store will be closing in 5 minutes.
Okay, a little less than 5 minutes. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. Thank you. Thank you again for joining me. That's right. Please do not forget to check out my content on the social media at RMK Madness on Twitter and Instagram. And my next pods, we'll get over the next couple of weeks. We'll do like an end of the year pod, do some discussion on that, some off-season maintenance type discussion. We'll get into that. But otherwise, hey, hope you had a very, very good Christmas madcaps, and we'll look forward to 21 because 2020 is damn near over. That's right. Thank you again for joining me. As always, much love. Stay safe, stay vigilant, stay mad. As always, Because, honestly, the best of us are. Mad, that is. Anyway, have a great, great weekend. Good luck in all your fantasy endeavors. And until we chat again, ta-ta for now. Laters.
Welcome to the show. The man